Good day everyone, Dr. Polaris here. Lion. Even the name alone conveys a sign of power and strength to many cultures across Afro-Eurasia. The so-called King of the Beasts has served as a potent symbol for thousands of years, representing royalty, bravery, and the sun. In our modern world, lions are practically synonymous with the continent of Africa, thanks to wildlife documentaries and a certain Disney film involving the cats as the main protagonists. However, these apex predators were not, and are not, exclusively native to Africa alone. Until relatively recently, lions also inhabited southern Europe, the Middle East and India, although were hunted to extinction by expanding human empires. The last lions in Europe died out only around 400 AD and were native to northern Greece and Bulgaria. In the Middle East they survived in certain remote regions until the late 19th and early 20th century, with a similar situation occurring across India at the same time. The only remaining Asiatic lions today live in a wildlife preserve in the Gir forest in the Indian state of Gujarat. As sad as this state of affairs may be, at least we still have living representatives of Asiatic lions, unlike those that lived further afield in the prehistoric past. Indeed, during the Pleistocene, lions inhabited almost the entirety of Eurasia. These were the cave lions of the species Panthera spelaea, native to the wide-open steppes, and hunted horses, bison, reindeer, and juvenile woolly mammoths and rhinos. Cave lions were noticeably larger than their African and Asian relatives, with evidence from ancient artwork suggesting that the males lacked manes as adults. They likely possessed similar tawny-coloured fur, albeit somewhat lighter than in their warm-weather cousins. Lion-like pantherine felids first appeared in the Tanzanian Olduvai Gorge site around 1.7 to 1.2 million years ago. These cats dispersed to Europe from East Africa in the first half of the Pleistocene, giving rise to Panthera fossilis in Central Europe by 610,000 years ago. Panthera spelaea evolved from Panthera fossilis about 460,000 years ago in Central Europe and would have been common throughout Eurasia from 450,000 to 14,000 years ago. Recent nuclear genomic evidence suggests that interbreeding between modern lions and all Eurasian lion fossils took place up to 500,000 years ago. But by 470,000 years ago, no subsequent interbreeding emerged. Then, roughly 300,000 years ago, a population of lion-like big cats appeared for the first time in North America. Present across the continent from Alaska to Mexico, and maybe even further south, but more on that later. Despite being identified as lion-like, this fossil animal, named Panthera atrox, with the common name being the American lion, has had a complex taxonomic history. Cladistic studies using morphological characteristics have been unable to resolve the phylogenetic position of the American lion. One study considered this animal, along with the Eurasian cave lion, to be most closely related to the tiger, citing a comparison of the skull. The brain case, in particular, appears to be especially similar to the brain case of a tiger. Another study suggested that the American lion and the Eurasian cave lion were successive offshoots of a lineage leading to the leopard-lion clade. A more recent study comparing the skull and jaw of the American lion with other pantherines concluded that it was not a lion at all but a distinct species. It was proposed that it emerged from pantherines that migrated to North America during the Middle Pleistocene, which gave rise to both American lions and jaguars. Another study grouped the American lion with Panthera leo and Panthera tigris, and ascribed morphological similarities to the jaguar as convergent evolution, rather than phylogenetic closeness. However, mitochondrial DNA sequence data from fossil remains suggests that the American lion represents a sister lineage to the Eurasian cave lion, and likely arose when an early cave lion population became isolated south of the North American continental ice sheet about 340,000 years ago. The most recent common ancestor of the Panthera atrox lineage is estimated to have lived about 200,000 years ago. This implies that it became genetically isolated from Panthera spelaea before the start of the Illinoisan glaciation, Boreal forests may have contributed to the separation during warmer intervals, although a reproductive barrier may also have existed. The study also indicates that the modern lion is the closest living relative of Panthera atrox and Panthera spelaea. The lineages leading to extant lions and atrox spelaea were thought to have diverged about 1.9 million years ago, before a whole genome-wide sequence of lions from Africa and Asia by Marc de Manuel et al. Showed that the lineage of the cave lion diverged from that of the modern lion around 500,000 years ago. Panthera atrox is estimated to have measured 1.6 to 1.2 metres from the tip of the nose to the base of the tail, and stood 1.2 metres tall at the shoulder. Thus, it was smaller than its contemporary competitor, the giant short-faced bear, which was the largest carnivoran in North America at the time, and larger than the saber-toothed cat Smilodon fatalis, which may have weighed up to 280 kilograms. A study in 2009 showed an average weight for the American lion of 256 kilograms for males and 351 kilograms for the largest specimen analysed. About 80 American lion individuals have been recovered from the La Brea tar pit in Los Angeles, so their morphology is well known. Their features strongly resemble those of modern lions, but they were considerably larger, similar to Panthera spelaea. Indeed, the American lion was one of the largest cats that ever lived, being comparable in size to Smilodon populator from South America and Panthera tigris soloensis, the Ngandong tiger from Southeast Asia during the Pleistocene. The earliest lions known in the Americas south of Alaska are from the Sangamonian stage, the last interglacial period, following which the American lion spread from Alberta to Maryland, reaching as far south as Chiapas, Mexico. It was generally not found in the same areas as the jaguar, which favoured forests over open habitats. It was absent from eastern Canada and the northeastern United States, perhaps due to the presence of dense boreal forests in the region. Panthera atrox was formerly believed to have colonised northwestern South America as part of the Great American Interchange. However, the fossil remains found in the tar pits of Talaru, Peru, actually belong to an unusually large jaguar. On the other hand, fossils of a large felid from the late Pleistocene localities in southern Chile and Argentina, traditionally identified as an extinct species of jaguar, Panthera onca mesembrina, have been reported to be remains of American lions instead. Preserved skin remains found with skeletal material thought by its describers to be from American lions were found in caves in the Argentine region of Patagonia and indicate that the animal was reddish in colour. Cave paintings from El Ceibo in the Santa Cruz province of Argentina seem to confirm this, and reduce the possibility of confusion with fossil jaguars, as similar cave paintings accurately depict the jaguar as being yellowish in colour. The American lion inhabited savannas and grasslands like its modern relatives. In some areas of their range, these animals lived under cold climatic conditions. They probably used caves for shelter from the cold weather in these areas, and might have lined their dens with grass or leaves as the modern Siberian tiger does. It is currently not known whether these animals were social, as remains from La Brea are always of single individuals, never larger groups. However, this may be a biased view, and Panthera atrox could well have lived in prides like modern lions. Like their cave lion cousins, male American lions probably lacked manes. In build, they were similar to modern African lions, but possessed proportionately longer legs and longer skulls, suggesting that P. atrox was better at sustained running in open environments. The remains of American lions are not as abundant as those of other predators like Smilodon fatalis and direwolves at the La Brea tar pits, which suggests that they were better at evading entrapment, possibly due to greater intelligence. They likely preyed on deer, horses, camels, tapirs, American bison, mammoths and other large ungulates. Evidence of predation of bison by American lions is particularly strong, as a mummified carcass nicknamed Blue Babe was discovered in Alaska with clear bite and claw marks from lions. Based on the largely intact nature of the carcass, it was probably frozen before the lions could finish devouring it. Panthera atrox went extinct, along with most of the Pleistocene Megafauna during the Quaternary extinction event. The most recent fossil material from Edmonton dates to roughly 11,300 years ago. American lion bones have been found in the trash heaps of Paleolithic Native Americans, suggesting that human predation contributed to its extinction. As with most North American megafauna, they remain tantalizing animals, just outside of our reach due to their recent extinction. If we are not careful, African and Asiatic lions could end up meeting a similar fate, and one day people may debate how these familiar modern animals lived and hunted. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next week I'll be covering the UK's very own equivalent to Mothman, the Cornish Owlman. See you again soon. Cheerio.